And hello and welcome back to Game 2 of the doubleheader here at Cal Poly Pomona. Inland Valley Pirates and East LA Dodgers doing battle here as we head to the bottom of the third inning. No score, kind of like the first game so far. If you remember the first game, there was no runs for the first 4 innings as Jacob Bernardi bounces one straight back at the pitcher, and he is thrown out here for the first out in the inning. We will get you the entire recap in the middle of this inning. We will also give you the starting lineups here as we are just joining the broadcast right now. As we mentioned, we were taking some pictures and a little bit of video for our website to make our website look even nicer than it already is. Here comes Kyle Jackson, batting number 9 in the lineup. The second baseman squaring around and bringing it back, and it's 1-0 to number 1-0. Kyle Jackson gave me a little bit of a problem in the dugout. He said he needed more pictures of himself, so I took a picture of him at second base, where he's playing today. I'm sure he wouldn't be happy. This one swung on and driven far down the left field line, but foul and into the bullpen for the East LA Dodgers. He probably wanted me to stay to take pictures another inning because now here he is batting, so I might get some slack from him there. But as we mentioned, this is still a scoreless game here in Game 2. Zach Trugood is the pitcher for the East LA Dodgers. This is a line drive to deep left field, and a nice play made out there by the left fielder. A basket catch over his head. Almost caught it like a receiver catching a pass, a perfect touch pass from a quarterback in football. So that was Aaron Chavez with that nice play out there. Here comes Anthony Virgin. Takes strike 1 in at the knees, and it's 0-1 to Anthony. If you remember, Anthony was actually 2 for 3 in the first game, had a single, and had the 3-run triple in that 6-run 6th inning. Breaking ball misses low for a ball to Anthony. Anthony and his brother Nathan both starting here today in this game, Game 2. Of course, both getting playing time as well in Game 1. Here's the pitch, and this one misses low for another ball to Anthony. Anthony, of course, is the older brother by about 11 months to Nathan. He will be playing at Citrus College next season. Here's the pitch. Swung on and bounced foul down the third base line past the third base coach and manager, Charlie Reynoso. On deck is Fernando Escobar. He is the leadoff hitter for this game. He flew out to center field. While we have some time, right after this next pitch, we'll just kind of recap everything that happened so you don't ever basically find out on our air what happened. And as this pitch misses high and away for a ball, Fernando Escobar lined out to center field. Johnny Reynoso singled. Andrew Alvarez flew out. A.J. David flew out. Christian Kelly, he flew out to left field. Alec Morabito struck out as this pitch misses inside for ball 4. And that is actually the second base runner of the day for the Pirates in this game. So Christian Kelly in the second flew out to left field. Morabito struck out. And then Nathan Virgin flew out to center. And then here in the third inning, Jacob Bernardi grounded it out to the pitcher. Kyle Jackson flew out to left field on a line drive out there to left field. And Anthony Virgin just drew that walk, and we're back to the top of the lineup. And Escobar fouls this one off his left ankle. He's going to try to walk it off a little bit in the batter's box, as time was immediately called for by the home plate umpire. The catcher for the East LA Dodgers actually kind of charged it and wanted to try to make the throw. That's Tyler McClurg for the Dodgers. But we're just in the early stages of Game 2 of the doubleheader. If you also recall, Game 1 was won by the Inland Valley Pirates 9-2. All 9 runs being scored in the 6th and 7th inning as this breaking ball's in there on the inside for strike 2 and it's 0-2. And the game actually was ended after 8 innings. East LA had decided that they only had 2 pitchers left, and they wanted to just basically concede the game, and they were not going to make up 7 runs in 1 inning. as Virgin is picked off here, and he will be tagged out at second base. And that will do it for this inning. And at the end of 3 innings, it remains scoreless from Cal Poly Pomona. Stay with us. We'll give you the updates on the pitching as well right now very quickly. We just gave you the entire recap of everything that's happened hitting-wise. Pitching-wise, Michael Koval started the game off and pitched 2 innings, 2 strikeouts. No base runners in those first 2 innings for Koval, so that's been something that we've been able to expect from him all season long. Very, very solid pitcher for the Inland Valley Pirates, and really has been efficient and has shown great command and striking out people. Pretty much a strikeout per inning so far this season for Michael Koval. But the book is now closed on him because Jack Johnson came in the 3rd inning, and he had 2 strikeouts, gave up a walk and a single, but no runs. So that's how we still have that 0-0 score. To go back on what we were talking about with Michael Koval, well, Michael Koval, in 15 innings pitched so far this summer, has 20 strikeouts. So that is showing really dominance on the mound for the Inland Valley Pirates. Meanwhile, the left-handed hurler is in now, Jack Johnson from UC Riverside. He came in the last inning, as we mentioned, pitched that scoreless inning with 2 strikeouts. He was the guy that recorded the only save so far in the season for the Inland Valley Pirates against the Palm Springs Power. It's kind of funny, but it's true because most of the games that the Pirates play, they're not in a save situation. They're winning by more than 4 runs. So he has that lone save for the Pirates pitching staff. He also has a win as well. Does Jack Johnson, who's been very, very good himself here in the early goings. He is ready to start the top of the 4th inning out. No score. Here is Brett Bonilla, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, scoring around and bringing it back, and it's called 1-0. Jack Johnson has pitched 15 innings so far this season, 1.80 ERA, 17 strikeouts. So another guy that's striking out more than 1 per inning. So we have a backdoor slider in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Jack Johnson deals, and this one misses low and away, 2-1 the count. He is 6'0", 190 pounds. As we mentioned, he is a southpaw. Only played sparingly this past season for UC Riverside, but in those 9 innings that he pitched, 8 strikeouts, so that proves the point that he really is a strikeout pitcher. This one swung on and fouled out of play down the third base line. So we talk about this often, but first member in his family to actually make it to college and to go to college. It's really a big honor for him to do that. And you'd think, like, what would be a major for a guy like that? This one swung on and driven to the right side hole over towards the first baseman, A.J. David, who flips it to Johnson for the out at first base. So 3-1 on that if you're scoring at home, as David makes the flip to his pitcher, Johnson. But you think about it, and for a guy to be the first in his family to go to college, you would never guess what his major is. In fact, most baseball players and most athletes, you wouldn't say would do this major, but it's bioengineering. So we talked about how he's a very intelligent player off the field as well, as a big breaking ball's in there, and it's 0-1. And that was also proven in the fact in high school that he was a scholar athlete at J.W. North High School in Riverside, where he also won a CIF championship. Breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-1. The year they won the CIF championship at J.W. North, Jack Johnson tossed a one-hitter against Jay Serra in the playoffs. This one misses high for a ball. Of course, you think about a left-handed pitcher, especially in Southern California, as Johnson deals high and away for a ball. And so most of these pitchers out here in Southern California are probably going to say the Dodgers or the Angels are their favorite team. Jack Johnson says it's the Dodgers, so if I tell you the Dodgers is his favorite team, this one swung on. Line drive down the third base line past the glove of Reynoso, And that will be a stand-up double, you would have to assume. No, the throw comes in late and now gets past the diving Kyle Jackson. And now headed into third after the error out in left field by Virgin is Dino Maris. So Maris all the way to third on the double, and then the error on the throw from Virgin. Nathan Virgin. We should always announce it's Nathan, not Anthony, because there are two of them. And, of course, Reynoso, the third baseman, is Johnny Reynoso. Although that's a little bit easier to figure out because Aaron is a pitcher and Johnny is a everyday player. First pitch misses low for a ball to Josh Gonzalez. He's 0 for 1 here today. But we said that the Dodgers are his favorite team, so maybe he likes facing this team as well, them being the Dodgers. But if you had to guess who his favorite two players were of all time, knowing he's a Dodger fan and a left-handed pitcher, I think you could figure it out at home. As Johnson comes set in the stretch, fires. Fastball paints the outside corner for a strike. Well, his two favorite pitchers of all time, or players in general of all time, are Sandy Koufax and Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers hoping to get across their first run of this game, game 2 of a doubleheader that they lost 9-2 in. This is a breaking ball in the dirt, and a nice job stopping it by Christian Kelly behind the plate to ensure that that run didn't come home and score. Of course, the Dodgers actually had a 2-0 lead in game 1, but then 9 runs in the 6th and 7th inning made it a distant memory that the Dodgers even ever had the lead in that game. Here's the pitch, swung on, line drive down the right field line. Will it be fair or foul? It's called fair by the home plate umpire, so that will score 1 run. And now digging into second and sliding feet first is Josh Garcia with an RBI double. So the Dodgers take the lead again in game 2. They get it a little bit earlier here in game 2 than they did in game 1. Game 1, they took the lead in the 5th inning. Here they are in game 2 with the lead in the 4th inning. If you recall, the Dodgers had 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th in game 1 before the offensive fireworks broke out for the Pirates. Breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Here to Zach Trugood. Trugood 0 for 1, grounded out to the third baseman, Reynoso. Also the pitcher today. So I guess you could say maybe he's the Andrew Alvarez of the Dodgers. Swung on and fouled out of play behind the backstop, and it's 1-1. Well, anytime you can be compared to Andrew Alvarez, that would be a good thing. Of course, Alvarez is a pitcher and hitter for the Pirates, headed to Houston Baptist, and was named the pitcher of the week here in the SCCBL this past week, after recording 8 innings and 6 strikeouts against the Palm Springs Power. Pirates still the only team to beat the Power, as this one misses outside, and it's 2-2. Well, if you're just joining us, this is the second game of the doubleheader. First one was won 9-2 by the Pirates. Pirates are in their customary red shirts, white pants, red hats, black Bills-O hat. And the Dodgers are, even though they're the white team, which we said earlier, this is the white Dodgers team. They have 5 different teams. They are in the blue Dodger blue and gray pants, and the Dodger blue hat as well. This one's chopped foul down the third base line. And Johnny Reynoso falling it all the way towards the bullpen out there in left field. He was very determined to backhand that one, and that's exactly what he did. But it was well foul, as he got an attaboy from somebody on the bench. Johnson comes set. Here comes the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So down goes Zach Trugood, as Jack Johnson now has his 3rd strikeout in 1 2/3 innings pitched. But he has allowed a run here in this inning. The Dodgers lead 1-0. Here comes Andrew Camacho. He grounded out to Reynoso in the 2nd inning. Johnson comes set, fires. Breaking ball of the backdoor variety on the outside corner, called a strike, and it's 0-1. Johnson comes set, checks the runner at second, fires home. Another backdoor breaking ball once again in there for strike 2. So it's 0-2 here for the Inland Valley Pirates and Johnson. Johnson, as we mentioned, playing for UC Riverside in the Big West, a very, very good baseball conference. This one swung on and driven through the right side hole. Charging in is the right fielder, who fires in and not in time as the second run will score. That was Michael Johnson out there. It was actually Morabito who started the game, and I delayed to say who it was because I knew it wasn't Morabito right away because it was a right-handed outfielder as opposed to a left-handed outfielder. And so the Dodgers get on the board again. And once again, the Dodgers actually have a 2-0 lead, which they did have in the first game. But then the floodgates opened, and the Pirates played it 6 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. And then it was basically almost like a mercy because the Dodgers just decided they wanted to finish the game after 8. Fastball, outside corner, called strike 1, 0-1 the count here to Nathan Casillas, the extra hitter for the East LA Dodgers. Another nice day here in Pomona as we have strike 2 and it's 0-2, and the hitter really looked like he was in disbelief that was called a strike. It was a slider that basically slid, just did that across the entire plate from the right side all the way to the left side. Here's the 0-2 offering. Fastball, outside corner, called strike 3. So Jack Johnson now with his 4th strikeout in 2 innings, but he has given up 2 runs. And the Dodgers lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. To the bottom of 4 we go here at Cal Poly Pomona. 2-0 the score. Dodgers on top of the Pirates. Dave Silberai on the play-by-play. So glad you could join us wherever you may be on InlandValleyBaseball.com. As this one is called a strike at the knees to Fernando Escobar. So it's 0-1 to Escobar, the shortstop, who is 0 for 1 here in this game. Lefty throws, and this one is a slow roller over towards the third baseman who fires across the diamond. A nice pick over there at first base for the East LA Dodgers by Gonzalez. So the Pirates struggling maybe a little bit here in the early going of Game 2, but you might have said that in Game 1 when they hadn't played it a run for the first 5 innings, and then breaking out in the 6th and 7th as this one misses for ball 1 to Johnny Reynoso. Reynoso is 1 for 1 with a single. Reynoso's had a really good day altogether for the Inland Valley Pirates, reaching base all 3 times as this one is called strike 1 and it's 1-1. If you remember, the other 2 plate appearances occurred in the 6th and 7th inning of Game 1, where he led off the 6th with a single and ended up scoring, and led off the 7th with a walk and ended up scoring. This is strike 2 at the knees, and it's 1-2 to Reynoso. And then we just mentioned the single here in the first inning. It was a line drive to the outfield. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and staying alive is Johnny Reynoso, doing a very good job of fighting off pitches here in both at-bats in this Game 2 of the doubleheader. Reynoso came into the day with a .250 batting average. Swings at this one and drives it to the right side. A routine ground ball over there for the second baseman, Camacho, who makes the play. So that is the second out here in the inning. Couple ground outs, one by Escobar and one by Reynoso, as Andrew Alvarez comes to the plate. Well, Andrew Alvarez was on a tear up until today. In the first game, Alvarez actually had an 0 for day, as this one misses low in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Alvarez going 0 for 4, did reach on an error in the 7th inning and scored. That is something that's been very rare and far between for number 19. This one swung on and fell out of play behind the backstop, and it's 1-1 to Andrew Alvarez. Alvarez is one of the nicer guys, but I mean, you could say that about pretty much anybody. Like, insert A.J. David is on deck, or anybody that you could think of on this team. Jack Johnson pitching, all really nice kids. And here's the pitch. Fastball swung, and this is a line drive into right center field, and making a diving catch out there in right field. No, It came loose at the last second, so that will be a single for Alvarez, as that was just roped out in their right center field, covering a lot of ground, and making that diving attempt out there was J.C. Razik, but he just couldn't bring it in. Just didn't have enough. Maybe if he was a couple inches taller, could have gotten there, but that'll be a base hit for Alvarez, his first of the day. So as we mentioned, he came into that at bat 0 for 5, but finally gets one, and now he's 1 for 6 for the day, as this one swung on and fouled straight back at the screen by A.J. David, who is 0 for 1 in this game with a fly out to center field. David did not play in Game 1 of the doubleheader. David is 6'2", 200 pounds, headed to Cal Baptist next season, where he'll be a junior, as we have a pickoff throw, and Alvarez is out now. Corey Davis is pinch running for Alvarez over at first base, so I wonder if that means that maybe Andrew is going to head home now that he has his hit, because he's DHing, so this one misses inside, so I don't see why you would pinch run for him. But anyways, A.J. David remains at bat. David, the major in kinesiology, like to be a physical therapist after his baseball days are done. Put up absolutely amazing numbers at San Bernardino Valley College, both as a sophomore and a freshman, really. I mean, you look at his sophomore year, and he had a .327 batting average, .410 on-base percentage. His freshman year, a .386 batting average and a .443 on-base percentage. And then back at this past year as a sophomore, swings and misses at this one. He was second in the state in RBIs with 43 for the season. That, of course, was what got him that attention for Cal Baptist. But really, Cal Baptist had his attention before the season even started, because he had signed with them in December of last year. So everything he did this season, I guess, was an added bonus. Off with the pitch is Corey Davis, the pinch runner. This is swung in a mile high to dead center, and that will be caught by Chavez out there in center field. David really slammed his bat at the wood here in front of the first base dugout, and the Dodgers will take a 2-0 lead into the top of the 5th inning. And welcome back to the top of 5 we go. 2-0 the score. Dodgers on top of the Pirates. If you recall, that was the same score in Game 1, and then the Pirates ended up winning 9-2. So obviously, Inland Valley fans will hope that the similar scenario happens here, as the first pitch is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Tyler McClurg, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. There is a new pitcher in there for the Pirates, as this one misses low and away for ball 1. 1-1 the count. The new pitcher is Ryan Romero for the Pirates. He wears number 25, 6'5", 190 pounds. So very slender, as this one is in at the knees, called strike 2, and it's 1-2. One of 4 members of the San Francisco State Gators represented here in the Valley, as this one misses low, and it's 2-2. The other 3 are Corey Davis, Fernando Escobar, and Bryce Cherry. Here's the pitch. Nice breaking ball, but I guess it bit too low, so that'll be a ball. Romero made it in 13 appearances this past season with San Francisco State. This is swung on, and Christian Kelly can't get to it in time, so that'll roll foul. And we'll have another 2-strike pitch here, but he had 13 appearances here for San Francisco State, 5.29 ERA, 51 innings, and 19 strikeouts as a junior. Late kicking, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, driven down the third base line, but Johnny Reynoso, you can't put one by him. He makes the backhanded grab on a liner, and that's the first out here in the inning. The reason I say that is because Johnny Reynoso has been all over the field on that third base side here today in this Game 2 of the doubleheader. Had a couple of really nice plays in the second inning. One spectacular play specifically. Here's the pitch from Romero, in there at the knees, called strike one, and it's 0-1 to J.C. Razik, who reached on a walk in his first at-bat in the third inning. Ryan Romero, one of the few guys that actually doesn't call a place in Southern California his hometown. Fires this one low, and it's 1-1 now. He's from Nampa, Idaho, originally, and went to Columbia High School there, and was the 4A Southern Idaho Conference Player of the Year. Here's the pitch from Romero, as this fastball is in at the knees, and it misses low for a ball. This one is fouled straight back at the screen. So Ryan Romero from San Francisco State. This is his first inning here in this game, as this one is fouled straight back at the screen. And Romero's favorites are the Dodgers and Nolan Ryan. So we talked about Jack Johnson's favorite also being the Dodgers, and both of them are playing the Dodgers here today. Here's the pitch from Romero, called strike three. J.C. Razik takes a long walk back to the third base dugout, and that'll be the second out here in the fifth inning. So 2 down here in the top of the fifth, 2-0 to score. Dodgers on top of the Pirates as here comes Mike Basiska. Here's the pitch. This one misses low for ball one, 1-0 the count. This is the third time these two teams have met here this season. Of course, two of the three coming here today. That one's called strike one, and it's 1-1 to Razik. Previous game came way back at the beginning of the season, the beginning of June. Swung on, line drive out to left field. Virgin takes a step back and now comes in and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. And that's one of those plays that when you make it out in left field, it's tough because it's hit directly at you, so you don't really know exactly how you want to judge it, but he did a good job there. And that will do it for this inning. And at the end of 4.5 innings of play, it remains 2-0, Dodgers on top of the Pirates. And welcome back as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. 2-0 the score. Dodgers on top of the Pirates. Christian Kelly at the plate, 0 for 1. Flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Takes this one high for ball one, and it's 1-0. Well, Pirates are looking to maybe get a rally going here and get some momentum here in the fifth inning. Of course, that didn't happen until the sixth inning of game one, if you were listening. This one swung on, a high fly ball down the first base line and foul, but it is playable. And the grab will be made by Gonzalez for the first out of the inning. So 1 down here as up comes Michael Johnson for his first at-bat of the game. Michael Johnson replaced Alec Morabito in right field after Morabito's first at-bat in the second inning. Morabito left after that, and Johnson taking right field. On deck is Virgin. Here's the pitch. Squaring around and laying one down, and that actually hit off Johnson. I'm not too sure exactly what it hit off of. It might even hit off of his left elbow. And now we have the home plate umpire saying he's out, I believe. The first base umpire said it was foul, and the home plate umpire said he was out of the batter's box, and the ball grazed him. So if that happens in the field of play, the runner is out. So now we have, obviously, confusion as Charlie Reynoso heads to the batter's box to talk to the home plate umpire, but the home plate umpire's decision is final. So that will be an out there for Johnson. Here comes Nathan Virgin. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. This one misses low for ball one, 1-0 the count. I'm just thinking I don't actually know how you would officially score that because he was hit by the ball, so I don't know who gets credit for an assist or a put out in that situation, as this one is swung on and missed by Virgin. Nathan Virgin wearing number 23 for the Pirates. Came in the sixth inning in game one and walked and struck out. Also scored a run. This one swung on an off-speed pitch that he stayed in there on and drove to deep center field. The center fielder camps underneath it after taking about 20 steps backwards and makes the grab to complete this fifth inning. And at the end of 5 innings of play, It remains, I should say, 2-0 Dodgers on top of the Pirates. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. And welcome back as we head to the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 score, Dodgers on top of the Pirates. First pitch is swung and driven into right center field. Michael Johnson makes the grab, and that will be the first out here in the inning. It was Mike Pasica, actually, who flew out, who I had flying out to end the last inning, so we must have had a couple guys bat out of order for the Dodgers, which sometimes you'll see in a non-conference game. Here is a breaking ball in the dirt, and that will be ball 1-0 the count, or they might have just sent up a different hitter in the middle of their lineup, which they also, I guess, could do. Here's Brett Bonilla, 0 for 2, swings at this one and hacks it in the right field for a base hit over the head of A.J. David. And so the Dodgers have a man on board here in the 6th inning. Well, if you remember, and you don't want to harp too much on it, but, you know, if you're just joining us or if you forgot, it was a 6-run sixth that the Pirates had in Game 1. It was the same score at that point, 2-0. So you wonder, is it possible for it to maybe happen again here in the 6th inning? Of course, right now it's the top of the 6th, and the Dodgers are taking their cuts. Merrill fires, and this one misses outside. Ball 1-0 the count to Dino Maris. Here's the pitch from Romero as this one's bounced over to David. David fields cleanly, fires over to Fernando Escobar, and Escobar back to David for the 3-6-3 double play. So that'll do it for this inning here as we will head to the bottom of the 6th, and it remains 2-0 Dodgers on top of the Pirates. Welcome back as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Dave Soberi on the play-by-play. So glad that you joined us wherever you may be on InlandValleyBaseball.com as the Pirates trail 2-0 to the Dodgers. The first pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 1. And it's 0-1 to Jacob Bernardi, who is 0 for 1 in this game. The ground out to the pitcher. Fastball high, misses from Trugood. On deck is Kyle Jackson for the Pirates. Late kick, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt for a ball. Bernardi swings at this one and fouls it out of play behind home plate. Jacob Bernardi, of course, 6'2", 190 pounds. Plays here at Cal Poly Pomona. He's a business administration major and wants to become a coach or work in marketing when his baseball days are over. This fastball misses high for a ball to Bernardi. Bernardi's a guy who had really been coming on strong as of late for the Pirates. He has a .286 batting average overall heading into today. But he, as we were mentioning, he was really hot in the past few weeks. This is a line drive in the center field, but directly at Chavez, the center fielder. And the catch is made for the first out here of the inning, the 6th inning. So if you were hoping, you were thinking that maybe they could potentially have another 6-run sixth, well, this one definitely doesn't start the way that the one in Game 1 did, which was with a Johnny Reynoso single up the middle. Although that was well struck, and that was hit very, very hard out to center field. Here comes Kyle Jackson. He goes down 0-1 immediately as he takes that pitch. He flew out to left field in the 3rd inning, so he's 0 for 1 in this game. Nathan Virgin on deck. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fly ball. Does it get out of play? Well, it hits the backstop, so it stays in play technically, but obviously a foul ball. You can't play it off the backstop. I believe I just said Nathan Virgin is on deck. I meant Anthony Virgin. Just wanted to correct that in case I said it. Obviously, I would call him Anthony when he came in the batter's box anyways. As this one swung off the edge of the bat, he might have broken that one, and that one goes through the hole for a hit for Kyle Jackson. It was weird because it didn't look like it was hit that hard, but it got past the third baseman, and then the shortstop well deep in the hole, about a foot on the grass, tried making a backhanded grab, and it just shot through both of them. It's Jackson on base here in the 6th inning, hoping to get a rally started with 1 out, and Anthony Virgin at the plate. Virgin walked in the 3rd inning and then was caught stealing. really was just actually picked off, I should say, because he was on first base, and the pitcher, the left-handed pitcher, threw it to first, and he was trying to steal on the throw and got gunned out at second. Well, they always do tell you, with a left-handed pitcher, you want to go on first motion. That was dangerously close to a balk if you were here. And nothing was called by the umpires, who Trugood threw that one over the first, and it really looked like he started to go towards home plate. Obviously, there's that 45-degree angle that you can't cross. The runner is off with the pitch. This is a fly ball, towering fly ball hit to deep right field, and that will be caught out there by Razik. So that'll be another fly out to the outfield. A lot of them here in Game 2. There were 3 in the first inning, 2 in the second inning, so that's 5. 1 in the third, 6. 1 in the fourth, 7. 1 in the fifth, 8. And 2 here in the sixth. So 10 flyouts to the outfield in this game. Here's the pitch. This one's called a strike, and it's 0-1 to Fernando Escobar, the leadoff hitter. So the Pirates are back at the top of the lineup. Escobar 0 for 2, lined out to center field, and also grounded out to the third baseman. On deck is Johnny Reynoso. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fly ball to shallow right field, and that gets down for a base hit. So the Pirates hoping for a little bit of a 2-out rally here, as we're at the top of the lineup, like I just mentioned. The number 2 hitter now at the plate, and Johnny Reynoso. And then Andrew Alvarez on deck. You would absolutely love if you could somehow get Alvarez up in this situation. Of course, you love having Johnny up in this situation as well if you just look at his day. And he's reached base 3 out of 4 times. 1 walk and a couple singles. Also a couple runs scored today. And we're talking about overall between the 2 doubleheaders. Shows good plate discipline there and takes a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Well, the 2 men on base are Kyle Jackson at second and Fernando Escobar at first. Escobar, a very speedy runner, as this pitch misses low, and it's 2-0 to Reynoso. So you think maybe if Johnny can hit one in the gaps, Escobar might be able to score from first or down the line. He could also pull it down the line or slap it to the left field line. Pickoff throw over to second base, but the pitcher, Trugood, does not actually throw it. The shortstop over there was showing glove, and anytime you see that, you think maybe you're going to go for the pickoff attempt, but Trugood thought better of Bonilla's sprint over to second base. Johnny Reynoso in a big situation here. Swings at this one, and this is a fly ball that will be foul, but is it playable? Let's see. It is out of play. Maris was charging towards the third base dugout. And initially off the bat, I thought it might be playable, but it was a couple feet beyond the dugout over there. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. That is ball 3, as a few of the players from the dugout were saying good eye on that pitch by Reynoso. It's always tough to kind of take a pitch like that that's low and away on a 2-strike count. Well, here comes the full count here to Johnny Reynoso. Swung on and lifted into deep right field, backing up towards the fence, and making the catch out there is Razik, about 5 feet away from the fence. So he hit a pop fly very far, but I guess that's just the ongoing theme of this game, the 11th fly ball out to the outfield in this game. And so there's no 6-run sixth in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Pirates are still going to have to try to scratch and claw their way back into this game as they trail 2-0 heading into the top of the 7th. Well, from one San Francisco State pitcher to the next, we had Ryan Romero go 2 innings, and now here comes Corey Davis. First pitch, one hopper over to Kyle Jackson deep in the hole, and he fires to first base for the out here. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Corey Davis. Had a very stellar season at San Francisco State. Of course, he's another one of the Pirates that has returned for a second season here. This season he has 5 strikeouts and 7 innings pitched and a 1.29 ERA with the Pirates, as this one has bounced foul, and it's 0-1 to Zach Trugood, who has been the pitcher the entire way here for the East LA Dodgers. So the Dodgers doing a good job in Game 2 to come back and fight, kind of try to salvage a split of the doubleheader, as this one misses outside, and I actually believe this is a pinch hitter now in for him, for the pitcher Trugood. That one misses outside, and so too does this one, and it's 2-1, as Davis is working a little bit quick here. Davis is 6'2". This one is fouled off the edge of the bat, and it's now 2-2. He's 6'2", 175, as we mentioned, from San Francisco State, where he'll be a senior next year. This past season there, 25 appearances, 41 innings pitched, 4-2 record, 13 saves as a junior. This one misses low and away, and it's a full count. So a very good statistical year for Corey Davis. He's a communications major there. This one swung on and fouled straight back at the screen. And so we'll do it again. You look at Corey Davis, and he's really a closer type of pitcher. Has a lot of heat. Two-chopper over to the shortstop, who fires across the diamond. That's still Escobar, and that'll be the second out of the inning. You got to make sure that the players are still there in the middle and late innings of an SCCBL baseball game, because I mentioned it a lot that all the players really get their playing time. But actually in this game, there are not any replacements other than Michael Johnson coming in the third inning for Alec Morabito. Here's the pitch from Davis, as this one misses high and away for ball one to Andrew Camacho. Camacho is 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the fourth inning. In that fourth inning, that's when the Dodgers scored both runs off of Jack Johnson. As this one's in at the knees, called strike one, and it's 1-1. Corey Davis is from Chino Hills, went to Chino Hills High School. Talked about it, but he's another guy that's really a strikeout pitcher. You look at his stats from last season, and this one swung on and missed, and he really made the hitter look kind of silly there, well out in front of it. Last season in 25 2/3 innings pitched with the Pirates, he had 23 strikeouts. Here's the pitch from Davis. This one's chopped through the hole, past the diving Johnny Reynoso, and that'll be a single. So that's the first runner to reach base against Davis here in the seventh inning. As Nathan Casillas comes to the plate, he is 0 for 2 in this game. It'll be interesting to see what the Pirates do. Should they tie this one up, obviously you still need to tie it up to kind of figure out what you're going to do, but this is a nice breaking ball in the outside corner, called strike one, 0-1 the count. But you figure that Corey Davis is more of a relief type of pitcher. I don't think I've seen him pitch more than 1 or 2 innings, either this year or last year. So if this game ends up being tied, as this one swung on and missed, blown by the hitter on that pitch, would you think that maybe he might go 3 innings and finish the thing out, or maybe there's another Pirate on the bench that's still ready to go an inning or 2 if he needs to? Fastball outside for a ball. Christian Kelly has been the backstop behind home plate for most of the day. Jimmy Mancia actually started at catcher in the first game and went about 4 or 5 innings, and it's been all Kelly ever since. This one swung on, towering fly ball that gets out of play behind the backstop and over towards the parking lot out there. Well, the Pirates have a few days off after today. Next game is not going to be until Saturday, which will be a doubleheader against the Inland Valley Buccaneers. Both of those games will be SCCBL matchups. Fastball swung and driven straight back up the middle for a base hit. And now there's 2 men on board here for the Dodgers. And Tyler McClurg at the plate. He is 0 for 2 in the game. So all of a sudden the Dodgers starting to get a little bit of a 2-out rally here after the first 2 runners were retired with groundouts, 1 to second base and 1 to shortstop. Dodgers put together a couple hits in a row. Here's a pitch from Davis. Fastball outside, ball 1. Leg kick, and here's a pitch. Fastball swung on, high fly ball to shallow right field. Will that stay fair or will it get foul? It doesn't matter because A.J. David makes the catch, basically sprinting with his back towards home plate, and then makes the catch kind of like behind his head almost, as he kind of overran it a little bit. But it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as you get it done, and that's exactly what he did right there. And so that'll be a fly ball out to the first baseman to finish the inning. So at the end of, actually I should say in the middle of the 7th, it remains 2-0. There will be a new pitcher for the Dodgers when we return, and it's time to stretch for the second time here today. And welcome back to the bottom of 7 we go. 2-0 the score, Dodgers on top of the Pirates, and this is where you really want to take advantage of this inning because the Pirates are in the heart of their order. Andrew Alvarez is up right now. He takes fastball low for ball 1, 1-0 the count. We talked about it earlier about what a nice guy he is. He actually picked up the baseball and handed it to the catcher. So that's proving the point right there. Here is the 1-0 pitch from the new pitcher Hopkins. This one misses inside for ball 2, and it's 2-0. Well, the most important thing to do, obviously, as a leadoff hitter, well, first of all, you really want to get on base to lead off an inning. But secondly, when you see a new pitcher, you want to extend the count. Fastball swung on and chopped foul down the third base line. That one kind of came out of nowhere. Like, after you've seen the first 2 pitches, that one looked much faster from Hopkins. But you want to extend the count, just basically let the dugout see, the whole bench see what this new pitcher has to offer. 2-1 the count. He is way to the left of the rubber. Fires. Ooh, a nice breaking ball in there on the outside corner for strike 2, and it's 2-2. Alvarez came up with a single in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2 in this game as his fastball misses inside. It's now a full count. Alvarez, of course, starting his career at Pepperdine, where he pitched as a freshman before going to Orange Coast College and now finding a home at Houston Baptist. This one misses, and it might have even hit him. I believe it actually hit him on the left leg, but he really didn't even flinch to Alvarez as he runs down to first base. And so Alvarez reaches on hit by pitch here on a full count, and he will be run for by Ryan Romero. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's because maybe there's something wrong with Alvarez. Maybe there's something wrong with his leg or something, because that's the second time in a row he's reached base, and he's been pinch run for. And also on top of that, he's been the designated hitter for both games. So there must be something. Maybe he's just not feeling well or something, but out he goes, and in comes Ryan Romero. Here's the pitch, and this one misses outside for ball 1 to A.J. David. A.J. David, a couple flyouts to center field, so he's 0 for 2 here in this game. We were talking about A.J. David and how great he really was at San Bernardino Valley College, being second in the state in RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swung on and bounced to the right side and through the hole, and that'll be a base hit. Romero is in at second, and David safely at first. And so the Pirates now looking for a big inning here in the 7th as they get their first 2 runners on board, something they did in both the 6th and the 7th innings of Game 1, and ended up coming up with those big innings, a 6-run inning in the 6th and a 3-run inning in the 7th. Here is Christian Kelly. Kelly is a guy who's really gotten it done with a stick here in the early going of the SCCBL season. Came into today .462 batting average, but squaring around in this one, and takes low for ball 1. This is definitely a sacrifice situation right here for the Inland Valley Pirates, I should say, as there are no outs and 2 runners on. If you could sacrifice both in the scoring position, that's fundamental baseball. This one misses low. Snap throw down to second base. That bounces a couple times, as some of the people are laughing just because Ryan Romero is being a little bit aggressive on the base paths. He had to slide back into second base, and he kind of looks funny, I guess, kind of shuffling his feet and jumping around out there. Mentioned very, very slender is Romero. Bunt laid down to perfection over towards the third base side. Actually, no, they're going to go to third, and they get the force out at third on Romero. So That'll be a 1-5 put out. Fielder's choice there for Christian Kelly. And I know you're trying to sacrifice bunt here and get the two guys in the scoring position, but it's kind of hard to take the bat out of the hands of somebody who came into today with a .462 batting average and had 2 RBIs in the first game. Scoring around and now bringing it back is Michael Johnson, and it's 0-1 here. If you recall, he came in and replaced Alec Morabito, and in his only at-bat, he had the play where it was fouled in front of home plate, and it hit his ankle, and the home plate umpire called him out as opposed to a foul ball, which is what the first base umpire called it. But the home plate umpire has the authority, and so his final verdict stood. Towering fly ball to shallow center field. Charging in at the last second is Chavez, the second center fielder. Looked like he initially was camped underneath it, and then all of a sudden he ran in about 5 feet late, but still makes the grab here. So there's now 2 away here in the 7th inning after what initially looked like a promising inning. Still 2 men on board, though, but you had the first 2 runners on base. And then the next 2, one has the fielder's choice, which is actually trying to be a sacrifice bunt, as this is called strike 1, and it's 0-1. And then the fly out to center field to Nathan Virgin. Nathan Virgin is 0 for 2 with a couple flyouts to center field. If you did get that sacrifice bunt down, though, and, well, he did get it down to Kelly, but he didn't get it far enough over towards the line. But if he did get that thing down and for a sacrifice, the run might have scored on that last one, although that was hit to shallow center field. This one misses high to Virgin for a ball, and the catcher bounces it back to the pitcher. I don't think you really like to see that if you're a Dodger fan, or especially Hopkins, the pitcher. You have to go after a bouncer. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit off the edge of the bat, fly ball. It's going to be a duck start. No, making a diving grab 5 feet on the outfield grass is the shortstop, Bonilla, and he makes a nice sliding play. And that'll do it for the 7th inning. And at the end of 7, it remains 2-0. Dodgers on top of the Pirates. You're listening on InlandValleyBaseball.com. Welcome back as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Pirates still trailing 2-0. Score they trailed by in Game 1, but came back and won 9-2 with 9 unanswered runs. Fastball in there for strike 1 from Corey Davis to J.C. Ratzik. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. Well, as we mentioned, the Pirates playing a lot of games in the early going of the season. A lot of games, but all of a sudden here you have a few days off after today. This one misses for ball 2, and it's 2-1. So you don't play again until Saturday. And at that time, you play the Buccaneers. This one chopped over towards the third baseman, Johnny Reynoso. He fields cleanly, fires across the diamond in time for the first out of the inning. So the first out recorded here by Corey Davis in the top of the 8th inning. If you do recall, in Game 1, that game actually finished after 8, or in the middle of the 8th in theory, because the Pirates only got 7 at-bats in that game. The Dodgers basically conceded the victory, as this one's called a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1 to Pasica. It won't be so here in Game 2 of the doubleheader, as the Dodgers lead 2-0, and the Pirates are trying to come back once again. Fastball outside for a ball. Speaking of the Inland Valley Buccaneers, since we just mentioned that that's the next doubleheader that the Pirates will play, the Buccaneers are in Palm Springs as this breaking ball's in there for strike 2. And they will take on the Power today and tomorrow. Games are starting at 7 o'clock. If you're interested, the Power will have covers of that game. Check swing, and this one is a bouncer over towards A.J. David, who steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted putout. Here comes J.C. Ratzik for the East L.A. Dodgers. Talked about J.C. Razik in the first game, but he was actually in the SCCBL a couple years ago with a now defunct team known as the Los Angeles Thrashers. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it to right field, pretty much straight away right field. And now coming in a few feet is Michael Johnson to make the catch. So that'll do it for the top of the 8th inning. At the end of 7 1/2, the Dodgers continue to lead 2-0 over the Pirates. Can the Pirates get some runs in the 8th? We'll find out in just a few moments. And welcome back to Scalinos Field on the campus of Cal Poly Pomona, bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Jacob Bernardi. Hopkins remains on the mound, who came in the 7th inning for the Dodgers. Here's the pitch, fastball on the outside corner, called strike 2. Kyle Jackson will be on deck, and then Anthony Virgin in the hole. And then back to the top of the lineup. Should one of them get on base. This one is swung at and really lunged at by Jacob Bernardi, and then takes a high hop over the third baseman's head. And so that'll be an infield base hit for Bernardi there. It looked like it was going to be a routine play at first, and it really just shot up about maybe 8 feet. So I guess that's a tough play for the Dodgers, but the Pirates will take that as they get their leadoff man on board here in the 8th inning. This one misses low for ball 1. Kyle Jackson telling the runner Bernardi at first to stay put, as the catcher McClurg made a good play to backhand it, make sure it didn't get to the backstop. Jackson is 1 for 2 in this game, singled back in the 6th inning and flew out to left field in the 3rd inning. Kyle Jackson, we talk about it a lot, but he's a guy that really played well for this team last year. Hopkins comes set, working out of the stretch, swings at this one, does Jackson, and fouls it out of play behind home plate. But you look at his numbers for last season, and he hit .340, 12 runs. Both of those were team high. 18 for 53, 5 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive to shallow center field, and that will be another flyout. And we mentioned it, that's been an ongoing theme in this game. A number of flyouts to the outfield, especially for the Inland Valley Pirates in Game 2 of this doubleheader. They just can't make, I guess, enough solid contact with it, or maybe they just can't place it in the right spot to get some hits. Here is Anthony Virgin. He is 0 for 1. Reached on a walk back in the 3rd inning. This pitch misses low for ball 1, 1-0 count. Of course, Jacob Bernardi did reach base on that infield hit, so we should see the top of the lineup in the form of Fernando Escobar to come up. Fastball overthrown. Bernardi reads it in the dirt, and he heads into second base and now is in scoring position. So a very good job by Bernardi to read that pitch down low in the dirt, to immediately hustle into second base and get himself into a position where he could cut this deficit in half. 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 2-0 score. Dodgers on top. Strike right there on the outside corner, as Virgin will step out of the batter's box and look down towards Charlie Reynoso and try to see what his signals are. Hopkins comes set and now steps off the mound. He was looking over at the runner on second base, Bernardi, but nobody covering him. In fact, the second baseman isn't even near the bag. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, as Hopkins is now got a 2-strike count here against Anthony Virgin. Big moment right here for Anthony. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high, way out of the zone for a ball. Well, Anthony definitely came up big in a big moment in the first game. Had a 3-run triple in that 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and away for ball 4. So he comes up big here, getting on base with the free pass, and now turning the lineup over to the top of the order, and Fernando Escobar, who is 1 for 3 in this game, singled in the 6th inning. grounded out in the 4th, and lined out in the center in the 1st inning. But if you remember, that hit was so big, that 3-run triple was so big for Virgin because it was only 3-2 at that point. Breaking ball in at the knees, called strike 1, 0-1 the count to Escobar. But that was really the hit that broke that game open. Of course, Kyle Jackson actually had the go-ahead RBI in that game. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball in there for strike 2, and it's 0-2. Escobar not swinging at either one. Escobar from Corona, went to Corona High School where he was an all-league player and Defensive Player of the Year twice. Lines this one up the middle directly behind second base, and he will beat it out for an infield base hit. So the Pirates showing off some speed because, first of all, what you see is the fact that it was hit directly behind second base or directly over second base, and they couldn't, basically the shortstop couldn't grab it and step on the bag because Anthony Virgin was already there sliding in safely. And then on top of that, you can't throw the guy out at first base because Escobar is just so speedy. And we've seen him do this time and time again, run out balls that other players might be thrown out on. Well, here comes Johnny Reynoso with the bases full of Pirates. First pitch, swings at it, line drive straight back at the pitcher. It's called an out. It's called the line drive out. And so that will be an inning-ending double play. Wow, this is crazy because the reason I'm hesitating is now Charlie Reynoso is talking to the umpire. So what happened was Johnny Reynoso hit a line drive directly back at the pitcher. The pitcher gloved it temporarily, but it came loose and fell to the ground. And the umpire said that he caught it, even though it fell to the ground. Now you could say maybe he lost it on the transfer, but I don't know if he ever actually did fully possess it. And so then the runner on third, not exactly knowing what happened there, that was Jacob Bernardi, just ran towards home plate, but he needed to stay put because it was called an out. But the second Bernardi saw the ball on the ground, he ran towards home, assuming that it was a force-out play. So really, in theory, I mean, that was a smart decision by Bernardi because you can't really wait to see what an umpire says in that scenario. But then you end up getting a double play with the bases loaded and 1 out, and really an inning just dies like that. It's really tough for the Inland Valley Pirates, especially considering how hard that ball was struck by Reynoso and the fact that maybe you hit that thing, a couple inches to the right or a couple inches to the left. I mean, that was a reflex catch to the max for the Dodgers, and just a tough way to end the bases loaded 1 out rally right there for the Pirates. So actually, I believe we have a 1 unassisted double play because I believe the pitcher ran to the bag himself, if I'm not mistaken. I was just so stunned and surprised when it happened. This one is hit off the edge of the bat over to Corey Davis, and Corey Davis flips it over to first base for the first out here in the top of the 9th inning on the Brett Bonilla ground ball. So we are in the top of the 9th now as the Pirates are trailing 2-0 against the Dodgers. Pirates taking the first game of the year against this team 10-0. And the first game of the doubleheader here today, 9-2. But trail 2-0 in this one, as this one, I guess, nicked the hitter. It was a fastball up and in. Maybe it grazed his jersey because if that pitch really connected with him, that would have hurt a lot. That was a very hard fastball. But the Dodgers get a runner on board nonetheless with 1 out in the 9th inning in the form of Dino Mares as Josh Gonzalez comes to the plate. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. The Pirates are 10-3 overall. Only had 12 wins last season. Of course, they're playing a lot more games this season, but only a couple more wins away from matching that record previously set, as it's 1-1 now as the breaking ball's on the outside corner, called a strike. big thing for the Pirates, though, is finishing higher in the league play. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Towering fly ball to shallow center field. And making the catch out in center field is Bernardi for the second out in the ninth inning. Coming up in the ninth inning, the Pirates will be down to their final 3 outs, but they once again will have the heart of their order in the form of Andrew Alvarez, A.J. David, and Christian Kelly. So couldn't have 3 better hitters to step up in that scenario. Davis checks the runner at first, fires home, high and in, ball 1. As Zach Trugood is up 0 for 3 in this game. Ground out, a couple ground outs actually, and 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-0 offering. Fastball outside, 2-0. Once again, if you're thinking about it, if you want to listen to the Buccaneers game, that'll be on PalmSpringsPowerBaseball.com. They have coverage of that game from Palm Springs as this one misses high and in, and it's 3-0. So Corey Davis starting to lose a little bit of control here in this at-bat as he falls down 3-0. Dino Mares takes his lead, a slender one at bat, off first base, and green light on a 3-0. Swung on and foul behind home plate, and it's 3-1. Well, I guess you might as well have a green light. You're up 2-0, and maybe you want to just take advantage of a pitch that you know is going to be a fastball. But this one misses low, and that is ball 4, 5-pitch walk drawn, and now there's 2 men on base for the Dodgers. One was hit by a pitch. That's Maris at second, and the other walked Trugood at first. Johnny Reynoso giving a couple of words of encouragement to Corey Davis before this duel between Davis and Camacho. Camacho had an RBI single back in the 4th inning, also single in the 7th inning, so he's 2 for 3. Now time's called for by Charlie Reynoso. So Reynoso will run out to the pitcher's mound, and Christian Kelly, the catcher, will join him as Andrew Alvarez will actually hand some balls to the home plate umpire. He was running low, needed a few more. Well, Corey Davis is actually getting the hook here. I was assuming or thinking that he was just going to try to talk to him a little bit and just kind of give him some encouragement to end this game, but he actually is going to somebody else, and he's calling, actually Virgin's coming out, and Davis looks like he's going in the left field, and so Virgin, I believe, is now going to come to first base. David, who's at first base, is going to the pitcher's mound, and Davis will go out to left field, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So we'll step away for a few moments as David will take his warm-up pitches. Here in the 9th inning, there are 2 outs and 2 men on base. And welcome back, still in the top of the 9th inning. 2 runners on base. A.J. David is now on the mound for the Inland Valley Pirates. We just got word that Corey has been battling tendonitis, which is why he came out right there. As David, here's his first pitch, breaking ball on the inside, called strike 1, 0-1 the count. David hasn't pitched too much for the Pirates this year. A couple relief outings here and there. Here's the pitch from him, and this one is in the dirt, and it's 1-1 to Andrew Camacho. Well, obviously, if you're the Pirates, you definitely want to prevent another run from scoring here because it's 2-0, and you have the heart of the lineup up in the next inning. David comes set, fires, swung on and missed. That is strike 2, and it's 1-2. It was a high fastball from David. Charlie Reynoso really likes A.J. David as a pitcher. As we mentioned, you don't see him pitching that often. I think it's something that he doesn't necessarily like to do, but it's something that he's good at as well. Breaking ball swung on, shallow fly ball into center field, and a routine catch out there for Bernardi to put it away. And that will do it for the top of the 9th inning. So there's 1/2 inning left. Pirates are down to their final 3 outs, but they do have the heart of the lineup up. It's Alvarez, David, and Kelly when we come back. To the bottom of 9 we go. 2-0 the score. Dodgers on top of the Pirates. Andrew Alvarez at the dish. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner, called strike 1 to Alvarez. He is 1 for 2 in this game, was also hit by a pitch back in the 7th inning. Breaking ball outside, ball 1, 1-1 the count. This is a big moment, I guess you'd say, here for the Pirates, hoping to, sweep the doubleheader. And they do have the heart of the lineup up, so not a better place to be in the lineup than right here, as this off-speed pitch hangs too high, and it's 2-1 to Alvarez. Alvarez digging in, awaiting the 2-1 offering. He swings and misses, and it's 2-2. Of course, Alvarez will be headed to his 4th school in 4 years. He was in high school 4 years ago, and then Pepperdine, and then Orange Coast College, and now Houston Baptist this upcoming year. Swings at this one and drives it to the right side. A two-hopper over to the second baseman, who fields it cleanly and fires over to first base. So that is the first out here in the 9th inning, as the Pirates are now down to their final 2 outs. The Pirates, of course, 10-3 here, hoping to pull out a 9th inning rally. Some 9th inning heroics like the Buccaneers actually had in their last game. Slow breaking ball in on the outside corner for called strike 1 to A.J. David. David actually finished out that last inning. He called for time at home plate, but Hopkins, the pitcher, was about to throw it nonetheless. And so the home plate umpire stopped him halfway through his motion and said, time, time, time. Hopkins moves very quickly. He works very fast. Towering fly ball in the infield. Shortstop catcher calling for it and makes the catch. And that is the second out. So Bonilla puts him away. And here comes Christian Kelly. Christian Kelly, 0 for 3 in this game. Remember, he tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt in the 7th inning with runners on first and second, no outs. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. And he laid it down, but the pitcher got there quickly, the pitcher being Hopkins, and fired to third, and they got the out. Fastball swung on and fouled out of play down the right field line, 1-1 the count. So it was really a tough situation right there when you had no outs and one of your best hitters at the plate and you ask him to sacrifice bunt. I know the situation called for a sac bunt because you're down 2 runs and you could get both runners in the scoring position, but you would have maybe just liked to have seen Christian Kelly take some hacks in that scenario as he takes one off his left shoulder. And so now he will head to first base on a hit by pitch. And here comes Michael Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 2. Flew out to center field. And also, if you recall, he had the grounder that went about a couple feet in front of home plate and ran into it and was called out on that play. Fastball low, ball 1-1 the count. Well, let's see if Hopkins has a little bit of trouble here trying to close the door out. It's never easy to shut the door. Here's the pitch, swinging around and now bringing it back is Michael Johnson, and this one misses outside, and it's 2-0. So all of a sudden, after getting the first 2 hitters out, Alvarez grounded out to second, and David flew out to shortstop. This one's in there. It's 2-1. Hopkins hits the next hitter, and then fell behind 2-0. But now it's 2-1 after he just had that last strike. Here's the 2-1 offering. Fastball swung on and fouled out of play behind the backstop once again, and it's 2-2. Pirates down to their final strike here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Michael Johnson will have to protect the plate here. Anything close, he's going to have to swing at. Big breaking ball that hangs too high, and it's 3-2. Full count. Payoff pitch to come. You want to see if you can get that potential tying run on board, and that would be the man at the plate right now, Michael Johnson. Fastball swung on and driven into right center field. Will it get down? Get heavy. It does get heavy, and the diving attempt is not made. Johnson will head into second with a stand-up double, and Christian Kelly stays put at third. So now there are 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. All of a sudden, Pirates trying to get a 2-out rally here as Nathan Virgin steps up to the plate. Nathan Virgin, 3 flyouts in this game, 0 for 3 here in this game. First game he was 1 for 2. Takes a breaking ball in at the knees for strike 1, called strike 1 at that, and it's 0-1. On deck, if they get there, would be Jacob Bernardi. This is a very big at-bat right here, to say the least. Fastball way high, and it's 1-1. Catcher Clerk did a good job to basically jump out of his crouch and catch it on his standing. This one's lined right back up the middle, straight from where it came from. Charlie is waving home Michael Johnson. The throw is going to come to the plate. The slide, he is safe. The Pirates scored 2 runs on a 2-run single here in the 9th inning by Nathan Virgin. So the brothers Virgin coming up huge in this doubleheader, and all of a sudden it's tied up 2 apiece. We do not know what's going to happen should this go into extra innings. Obviously, we have enough daylight to play extra innings, but I don't know if the Pirates have pitching. A.J. David, I guess, will have to stay in. The runner's off with the pitch, and he is safe. So he steals second base now. Does Nathan Virgin. And now the go-ahead run, and the game-winning run, is in scoring position at second base with Bernardi at the plate. Unbelievable. That one was lined straight back up the middle for the 2-run single. This one swung out and fouled into the first base dugout at a couple of his teammates. Maybe Bernardi wasn't happy with somebody over there and wanted to take one of them out. But wow, what a clutch hit by Nathan Virgin. Fastball outside, 2-1 to Bernardi. And then he steals second base. Man, Virgin. Fastball in at the knees, called a strike. And it's 2-2 to Bernardi. Well, the Buccaneers, we were saying it in the beginning of the 9th inning, they walked off in their last game on our air. Could the Pirates do the same? Fastball outside, ball 3. 3-2 the count. Full count here to Bernardi. Wow. You had the Pirates scoreless for 8 2/3 innings, and all of a sudden swung on and missed that strike 3, so that'll be the final out here in this inning. We'll try to see what they're going to do here, whether or not we continue to play or whether or not we just call it a tie, as now Charlie and the manager of the Dodgers will talk about it. And it looks like Coach Reynoso wants to continue playing, and it looks like the Dodgers manager does not want to continue playing, if I had to say it. If I had to speculate, the home plate and second base umpires look like they're ready to continue. And this game is over. So this will be a tie. That is disappointing to say the least, considering how exciting it just happened to be in the 9th inning. And Virgin hit the line drive up the middle, scoring 2 runs to tie it up at 2 apiece. And the Dodgers wanted to finish this game, and that was pretty much it. That was about it. And so Coach Reynoso said that was okay with him, I guess, and that will do it for this game. The second game of the doubleheader ends in a tie, 2-2. After 8 2/3 innings, the Pirates had no runs. In fact, the Pirates, the first 2 hitters in the inning were actually retired, and that was the number 3 and 4 hitter, 2 of probably the best hitters you'll see in this league, in Andrew Alvarez and A.J. David. And then all of a sudden, it's, as we mentioned, it's always tough to finish a game out, and the pitcher, Hopkins, hits the batter, Kelly. Then he gives up a double to Michael Johnson, so you have runners on second and third. And then Nathan Virgin rips the 2-run single up the middle to tie the game. And so the Pirates, I guess, can feel a little bit good about this in the sense that they end up with a tie and they didn't lose. But then on the other hand, they wanted to play more baseball. They were very disappointed that the game didn't continue and go into extra innings. As we mentioned, it's only 6:58, so we had another hour of daylight, really, where we could have played another good 3 innings to finish this game. But once again, I'm not exactly sure who the Pirates would have ran out there for pitching unless A.J. David was good to go a couple more innings. But that's all speculation now because we're not going to have extra innings here in the doubleheader. So you go 1-0-1, I guess, in the doubleheader. You don't see too many ties in a record for baseball, but actually, Pirates did have one tie last year. I was not at that game, so I don't know what the circumstances were for that game. But the Pirates' final record last season was 12-11-1, and this season they will finish with at least one more tie here in 2014. As, man, that was kind of just, to say the least, it was kind of like a buzzkill. You really wanted the Pirates and the Dodgers to finish this game out on the field and see who was the best team, especially after the Pirates came back in the ninth and scored those 2 runs. Well, that will do it for today. As we mentioned, the next game will be a doubleheader against the Buccaneers. Just to recap, it was 9-2 in Game 1. The Pirates won. And it was 2-2 in Game 2, and the Pirates tied. Yes, they did tie. And let's kind of give you a recap of what happened in the ninth. I think we already did that, but yes, we already did that. But it was Kelly who scored and Johnson who scored on the 2-run single by Version, and that was how the Pirates tied the game up. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, it was Koval who started and retired all 6 batters he faced. Jack Johnson allowed the 2 runs. Ryan Romero came in for a couple innings and was solid. Corey Davis, 1.2 innings pitched, and A.J. David finished out the last out for the Inland Valley Pirates. Well, that'll do it for today. That'll be a wrap for both games of the doubleheader. As we mentioned, the next game will be on Saturday against the Buccaneers in a doubleheader. We'll have both of those games for you. And if you're so inclined and interested, the Buccaneers are now taking on the Power. Right as we speak, they are starting opening pitch out in Palm Springs. That will be on the Power's website, PalmSpringsPowerBaseball.com, if you want to maybe scout the competition or see how the Bucs are doing. Once again, I'm Dave Sobera. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.